All righty. Well, welcome back to Doak Campbell Stadium. It was incredible. I mean, just thank God for the opportunity just to be able to be a part of this program, to be a part of this this wonderful team, university, those players in there that I get to coach. I mean, it's been a lot of work since December, January, all things throughout the off season, and this is one game, and we understand it's one game, but it was a big game. And I know we talked about that as last week, is you to be on this stage against a top 10 opponent, a very talented team, and but we wanted to be the aggressor, and we were. And our players, they rose to the challenge. I thought our coaches did an outstanding job in putting together a great plan. Was so very multiple, being able to be on the attack throughout the game, regardless of the situation, and our players rose to the challenge. And I thought you saw a great heart. Just the way that they, we've talked all year, and I've used the buzzwords of edge and desperation. Well, that comes from the heart, and you saw heart tonight. And you saw a team that, absolutely loved playing this game together, and were physically dominant, emotionally together, and they responded, because it wasn't a perfect game. And, we talked about that as a team, is that this is the first step, but it was a big step. And now we got to go and get better. We have to continue to improve. We're going to enjoy tonight. We're going to be able to get a great, evaluation of exactly where we are. But when you have a team like that has a lot of experience and some good players that are on the other side. I mean, it comes down to your execution and just ultimately what you're willing to pour into the opportunity. But for our crowd, our fans, that was special. And being back in Doak Campbell, full capacity, we felt it. The Marching Chiefs, it was rocking tonight. And, I do want to take just a moment to Michael Alford, our AD, outstanding job. When you look at our President McCullough, our board of trustees, the push, the support, the investment into our program with the new stadium, with the new football complex that's going to be opening midway through this year. It's an incredible group. And I tell people all the time, it's the people that make the place, and that's what's special about Florida State, is we got great people, and I think our players showed that and represented that well. We had so many former players that were here, that were just to be here to encourage, support. A lot of them were here last night, and it was all great performance. Proud of our football team in every phase, and Tommy got to break the rock tonight. Well earned. You saw guys that offensive line, I thought, did an outstanding job. Some big plays at the receiver position. Defensively, just for the first drive to go, so far against what we wanted, the response and just the adjustments and the swarming effect of our defense was remarkable. I thought we were able to create pressure. We stopped the run. Earl Little was a monster out there today. He was flying around all over the field. It was what Florida State football looks like and feels like. And so it was definitely a great night.
Mike, you guys were basically 2 touchdown underdogs at home to Alabama. How important was it to play the way that you played tonight to set the tone for what this season is going to look like and put last year in the past?
Well, it wasn't about Alabama tonight. It was about us. It was about this team. It was about the players that I get to coach, the work they poured into it. It was this game. It was a highly anticipated game. It was one that they are talented. They've done extremely well throughout the years, and the guys that they get to that we competed against. But my focus not at one point was ever about them. It was just about this team going to be what I believed it could. And, we've been able to see guys that have come into the program that are growing and developing, like Mekhi Danzy tonight, to be able to have the plays that he had. You see, Jabril Rawls had a couple really nice plays, that tackle there at the end. That is a defining play for tonight. You talk about dominant contact. That's what it looks like from a corner there to stop a guy half a yard short. That was huge. But guys that have grown in the program, and then guys that have come into the program and bought into the understanding of what it is to be here. And we've seen that before, but I believe this team definitely has great capabilities of it. And tomorrow we're going to show up, and the objective's still going to be the same: go get better. right? And they've embraced that since January, since they've stepped foot on this campus, and as a football team, whether they've been here for multiple years or whether they just got here. And but I thought that showed up tonight.
The conversations you must have had with the players at the end of last season, the guys who were coming back, and then the guys you were choosing to bring in, just how gratifying is it to see the way you were right about the guys you kept and the guys you brought in? Like, can you feel that?
I mean, I know what it looks like. I've seen it really good, and I've seen it, really bad at times. And I mean, this is Florida State. It is a privilege. It's a privilege to coach, to play, to represent this program, and so that standard needs to be upheld. It doesn't mean that tonight wasn't a perfect game. Not one player played a perfect game tonight, but they poured it all in, and you felt the competitive spirit, you felt the response, you felt the way they came together, and all three phases had a great impact in getting that win. So. We knew what it looked like, and we were able to get the right guys to come in, the ones that have joined our program here for this year, and this is their first year, and also been able to see the growth and development by guys that wanted to be difference makers, that wanted to make sure that we were all upholding the standard of Florida State, and I thought that showed well tonight.
Hey, Mike, what was it like taking a step back in terms of the offense and working with Gus again? And along that, I guess, I wonder if you could walk me through the fourth down decision, I think, on the drive to go up 31-17. How much of a consideration was that, or was that go all the way?
No, I mean, it was, Gus, Tony, I mean, you couldn't, they did such remarkable jobs, and you obviously kept your opponent off balance in what we were doing, and it was physicality tonight. And, I thought we were the most physical team on the field, and, really did a great job of, making that the priority. And, when you get to a situation there late, we're going to win. And that was the mindset. You obviously always, you talk through it, any of those situations that are up. And, I mean, the fourth down at the end, as well, it's just like, let's go put our stamp on it. And, I thought, coordinators, coaches, everybody involved, and those players being able to go out to execute. I mean, that was probably my favorite play, just to see the push, to see the surge, and to be able to let that continue the drive as we're going to, obviously go to win it.
How much does having Tommy, a guy who has an alpha personality, benefit the entirety of your roster?
Well, I know you guys have asked a lot of questions about Tommy since he's been here, and I think probably every time that I answer it, I talk about the investment that he's making off the field. I talk about what he's doing, pouring into his teammates. He really is a guy that when he steps on the field, 10 guys on offense are better, and the guys he's competing against defensively, right? I mean, they support him and embrace all things that he brings, and he's got great energy, but it's not just what he says, and that's where people can get caught up because somebody's not afraid to talk and put thoughts out there. I mean, he does it with his actions. If Tommy didn't say a word, you would still feel the way he plays. I'm grateful that he's willing to put himself out there, and we've got a lot of guys that have shown up on this team that even in the course of sometimes making a misstep or a mistake or getting beat on a play, that they're not pulling back, they're pushing forward. And I think Tommy is a remarkable competitor, and I'm just proud of what he's done up to this point, and I'm excited about what he can continue to do and where he can continue to grow.
From the final couple, I guess the 2-minute warning with the players celebrating, and then to see the fans pouring onto the field, that final collection of just enthusiasm, I guess, for you as a coach to see what the fan base has gone through, what players have gone through last year, to come out of it and see this. I know one game, but to see this moment, I guess, what was that like for you?
No, it was incredible. I mean, but once again, this is Florida State, and that's this fan base, this football team. I mean, the energy that you felt from our crowd tonight was incredible. I mean, just absolutely incredible. And everybody can have a perspective or thoughts of what might happen or what could occur, but we still get to make the choice. And our fan base, our supporters, our boosters, everybody that's poured into, the facilities and all the things that are around. I mean, to see that continued push, even with, a year that had extremely disappointing, results a year ago. I mean, it's our opportunity and it's our choice to go make it better, to go, be the difference maker. And I think you've seen that from everybody. Our fans were a difference maker tonight. Our past players being here tonight were a difference maker tonight. To be able to see everybody celebrating at the end, that's why you do this, and it's why you come to Florida State, because it is the people that make the place.